Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Season 2, Episode 2 of The Dragon Prince. So, I want to say right off the bat, I apologize greatly for the last one, for the first episode of this season. Um, as you know, I had a big issue come up with OBS where it didn't record my audio. I don't know why, but it didn't record any of my audio for the reaction, and I did not notice until too late, until it was done. Um, so I ended up having to put up just a review of the first episode of season 2. I apologize. But yeah, and I just feel like that was a big issue that we had that we don't usually have on the channel. But I apologize greatly for that. And I thank you all for seeming to understand. Um, but in the first episodes, moving on, we had just kind of the start of the season and everything, just really kind of getting back into things. Um, Callum was talking to the mage, trying to learn how he's going to do magic and stuff. But apparently, he supposedly can't due to not having a connection like the Zadians, I think, do. Or no, is Zadia the human part? Or now I'm not even sure. It's been like a couple weeks since I did the first episode of season 2, so I apologize for that. Um, Whichever way I'm getting this wrong. But yeah, it's like he doesn't have a connection because he's a human. Um, and he's been told that the magic that humans do is not even really considered real magic. That it's kind of like a bastardization of magic. Um, so yeah, there's that. Meanwhile, Ezrin is playing with the Dragon Prince, the newly hatched Dragon Prince, and trying to teach him to fly and stuff. His name is Ozymandias, I believe. I believe that's right because I believe I made kind of the connection to the Watchmen character, which I don't really think is a valid comparison in terms of character and personality, because Ozymandias from Watchmen is a sociopath who plunged the world into all kinds of bullshit. No matter whether you're talking about the movie or the comic, which that was the one part of the movie that really did veer off from the comics. Exactly what Ozymandias did. So yeah, the rest of it was actually pretty fairly accurate. Um, but either way, um, yeah, it's just it's interesting what they're doing with the Dragon Prince. He seems very like like a baby animal. So I'm wondering where that's going to go from there. Like I want to know the reason why they were hiding the egg. I assume it just has something to do with Viren, aka Asshole McGee, um, who at last episode we saw doing some really fucked up shit, like threatening the Crow Master's life in order to fake the King's seal, sending these letters out to basically work with the other leaders, the other kings and queens, to start forming plans for an attack and shit against the against his own kingdom's wishes as well. So yeah, that's all kinds of fucked up. Meanwhile, Viren's children, I think the daughter's name is Claudia, and I can't remember the son's name. They're off to continue to try and hunt the princes and, get the dragon egg back, complete their own separate missions and all. Um, when they get there, they finally reach where the encampment is, and they come into contact with Rayla and seemingly put her to sleep before a fight can even happen. And then it kind of ends with them about to attack or, well, probably kill her. Because to their knowledge, Rayla is technically the bad guy here. um, so yeah, I still have this kind of thought that maybe Rayla's faking it. Or maybe the princes will come and save her, stop them in the end, or distract them, or something. I don't know, but we obviously know Rayla's not going to die. Um, Now, before we begin as well, I do want to say I have heard that apparently season three is happening. It's confirmed. I think I was unclear about that before. Um, and not only is it confirmed, but I think I heard that there's like plans for a either the third or the fourth season is going to be the final season. Like they actually have that planned out. But then there's going to be actually some kind of spin-off that takes place in the same world, but is following completely separate stories and characters, um, which is interesting. Like they have like a full set plan for when this is going to end, exactly how it's going to end, and all that. But at the same time, they're already even planning spin-offs. Are the spin-offs, if they're going to follow completely different characters, then what what's going to be the deal with that? I don't know. Heck, I don't even obviously know if the spin-offs will be good, just because this one is. You can't really tell that. Um, but yeah, that's really interesting. That's an interesting way to handle this. Definitely kind of, it almost feels like they're definitely kind of rushing that. Like, I mean, obviously you could make a comparison with Avatar because of some of the same people working on it. Um, because Avatar and Korra, there was some time between the two shows. So it's like it almost seems like they'd be rushing into doing a spin-off. Um, I have no idea how this is going to even end. There's a lot of questions this brings into play as well. But either way, I'm interested to see where this series goes. Um, I hope that when it does end, it ends really well and comes to a natural conclusion. And I hope Viren dies. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I hope Viren dies because he pisses me off in just so many ways. Um, which is like ironic for me because it's like I constantly talk about like wishing death on people being morally corrupt and terrible, which it is, but it's a fictional character. The kind of thing doesn't really equate when you're talking about like fictional media and stuff like cartoons, anime, video games, etc., etc. Because it's mostly widely acknowledged that your feelings towards characters in fictional media like this don't necessarily equate to your feelings towards real people who would be like that. I mean, it's the reason why people can play Cards Against Humanity but be nothing like that in real life and not believe those kinds of things. You're playing a game. It's not real. It's not indicative of your real feelings towards these kind of things. And the same goes with watching this stuff. It's like you can root for someone in a show to die because you hate them. That doesn't mean you would root for horrible people in real life to die. Like, there are plenty of people in real life that I despise because of all the horrible shit they do, have done, will do, plan to do, etc. But I would never wish death on them. Not even, I would never even get close to wishing death on them or even serious injury. Because I believe that is morally disgusting. But with a fictional character, it's like it's a fictional character. You're not actually wishing any real death on anything. It's fake. And I understand the difference between reality and fiction. So some people don't. Some people try to act like, oh, playing violent video games will make you violent in real life. And people like that need to shut the fuck up. Using a example that once again has come into the spotlight. Stuff like that, yeah, it just doesn't hold water because there is a difference between reality and fiction. And yes, in a lot of ways, fiction can influence reality. Sure. It can even inspire people. But most people understand the difference. I've grown up playing violent video games like Mortal Kombat, especially, and I am one of the least violent people you'll ever meet. And I am so non-confrontational, not just even physically violent, like emotionally and mental violence too. I could never intentionally hurt someone in any way, shape, or form. I I I, I just could never bring myself to do anything like that. I'm kind of a baby when it comes to that kind of stuff, you could say. I'm just really non-confrontational and I don't believe in hurting people, especially intentionally. So, anyways, we're getting kind of off track. It kind of ties into things, but still. I'm excited to see where this goes, so let's get into it. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so another good episode with a lot happening despite not much actually happening. So Claudia and Soren get into a fight with Rayla, though we see Callum and Ezrin come in, mainly Callum, to stop. I think it's only Callum actually. Is Ezrin there when they first? I'm not sure. Either way, Callum comes in, stops them, and confidently, as it's put, convinces them to kind of just chill. So they get Claudia and Soren to hang out and just basically do stuff with them. There's a little bit of flirtation with Claudia and Callum. And Soren, meanwhile, actually both of them, Soren and Claudia, are trying to enact their goals. Claudia's goal, of course, to get the egg back by any means, even if it means Soren gets hurt or even killed. So she's trying to butter them up, trying to get on their good side and get their trust so that they come back with her. Meanwhile, of course, we know Soren has the much worse secret mission of killing the princes, because Viren wants control of the throne and doesn't want them getting in the way of that. In fact, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I do kind of have a theory that maybe Viren might be somehow behind the elf attack that killed the king. It's kind of a big theory to think about, but it might be. But yeah, so Soren is trying to kill Ezrin specifically throughout most of this. And the main thing that he tries is with the zip line. He creates this zip line, and his goal is to get, of course, Ezrin to trust him and use it. And then while Ezrin goes down, he's going to release the stake that's in the tree, so that obviously an accident will happen, and Ezrin will fall to his presumable death. But Rayla manages to catch him in time and stop him. So plans don't go, well, according to plan for him. Meanwhile, Claudia and Callum go on a date at night while he's because he wants to show her all of the magic stuff. And it's there that she reveals the truth to him about him and Ezrin's father being dead, having been killed in the Moon Elf attack. The Moon Shadow Elf. Either way. And so at the end, we see Rayla, who was about to tell Callum this, find out about it, and we see how Callum is reacting, which an understandable reaction. The question is, how is Ezrin going to react? That's going to be harsh. And where's this going to go with Claudia and Soren? Claudia trying to get them to go back and, get the egg, or in this case, I guess now the prince, back. Ozymandias or Zim, whatever you want to call him. And with Soren's mission of killing the princes, how is this going to work? There's a lot of questions that this still raises, but I guess we'll find out next time and all. But yeah, this was definitely a very good episode. I enjoyed it. I like how the Moon Mage got Rayla into figuring out the answer on her own instead of just telling her how to handle things. I think that was smart and really clever of her. Uh, oh my. I don't know where this is all coming from, but yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought this was a good episode, and I'm really excited to see where this goes with this. One other thing though, Viren apparently figured out the trick to this mirror. Um, he used this spell, and at first it didn't seem to work, but then after the entire fire happened, it did. Maybe it reacted to the fire, but it gave him a glimpse of somewhere else. We don't know where it is yet, but that could be bad. So we'll just have to see. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See you all next time.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you want to check out any of my social media links and more, please check them out over to the side. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave those down below. In the meantime, though, thank you so much once again for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.